Welcome back to Project Zomboid. It's a beautiful day. In fact, I'm gonna open these curtains. Ah, look at that. Look at my beautiful garden outside. It's gonna take forever for that garden to grow. We gotta find something to do with ourselves in the meantime. So, what I'd like to do is, if you can look up the skill list here, and I think you can barely read that mechanics has only got a couple of experience points in it, and we need more because Shonda has been coasting on the fact that she found two very good drivable vehicles earlier in her career. Spiffo's van over here is so fancy, I refuse to drive it. But if she wants to get but this car has been doing well for her for a while, but it's not in the best shape, and it's also not the best car in the game, right? She would benefit from having some variety of choices. The problem is she can't hotwire vehicles. She's got enough electrical skill to hotwire vehicles, but she has almost no mechanic skill. In fact, no mechanic skill that counts. And so what I want to do is start building up her mechanic skill. And that means she needs to go and find, because she's a Sunday driver, she can't tow vehicles back to her base without it being a disaster. And so the only way she's going to get vehicles back to her base is by hotwiring them. So before she can do that, she has to go out and risk her life out in the field doing auto body work in places where zombies can get to her. Of course, I mean, it's not like I've built a safe place. You can, if you get your carpenter skill high enough, you can build places where you can drive your car in, close a gate behind the car. In fact, I showed a place like that in my last episode that I had built. So you can do that. You can make safe places for yourself. Technically, this place is not safe, but she lives here. This place, I think living here means that she's kind of suppressing the spawning in this area. So I would feel safer working on a car in her yard than I would out somewhere randomly in the field. But randomly in the field is her only option, so that's the option she's going to choose. She's got a wrench in the back of the car, which is the main thing you need. You need a wrench and a screwdriver if you want to be doing car work. So the main thing I need to make sure she's got now is some food. So I made some soup last night, or yesterday sometime. So let's drink up the last of that soup to resolve our hunger moodle that we've got right now. And let's make ourselves some kind of snack that we can take out there. Let's go out here, and you know what? Let's actually leave this cooking pot out on the ground to collect rain. Let's pick up another cooking pot that has taint in it. Okay, so yeah, starting a delicious stew. First, you want a pot of taint, and then you start working with the other parts of the animal. Here's some rodent meat. Put that in there. We got a bunch. Okay, let's just go through all these little shreds of rodent meat. This is just a nice rat stew. You know that Shonda's a big fan of rat stew. Colision, I mean, you do whatever you want with the bets. You're the mod. Colision wants to set up some really elaborate, expensive bets so we can start dumping channel points on people. I don't have no suggestions, except unless you want to do another injury bet. I've got no suggestions about what you should do there. Okay, so let's find, what do we have the most of? We've got a fair number of canned potato. So let's have some canned potatoes. And what else do we have a lot of? Fruit cocktail. That's not really good for a stew, right? I guess we could put some peas in. And I think we've got some dried beans in here too. So we'll do, let's see here. Let's put some potato in there. Let's put some peas in there. And then let's put some chickpeas in there, which are different from peas. They're not peas at all. They're just called chickpeas for some reason. And then we'll stick that in the oven. Actually, do we want to put a little bit of spice in there? Let's put a little butter in there just to make it more fattening. That sounds great. And then we will put it in the oven. And turn it on. So, La Coalition is suggesting that I could find a place with a garage and use it as an auto repair outpost. That is a good idea, actually. The problem is, I think the thing that you really need in order to do a lot of good auto repair is a two-car garage. Because you want to be able to park two vehicles in it, one to extract parts from and the other one to attach parts to. Otherwise, I mean, I guess you could roll one vehicle into it, remove all its parts, drive it out, But then sometimes if you've removed the parts, you can't drive it out because you took off parts that it needed in order to be drivable. So, yeah, that might actually kind of not work a lot of the time. So, I mean, it just you can't be fully safe that way. Double checking. Oh, hey. Yeah, I just need to answer a text real quick. Do. Boom, 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 boom. I know this is really exciting. All right, there we go. Okay, so we've got our stew. We'll stick this in our bag. And then I think with that and the wrench in the back of the car, I think we're basically ready to go. We just needed some food. Oh, let's make sure that my water bottle is full. I said, let's fill our water bottle. Malator says that the storage unit in Muldra has a 2-car garage. It's fairly secure with a big fence. Yeah, so there's an auto shop in Muldra that's got, I think, 2 garages. Or, no, I think it might just be the warehouse. I think you're right. It might be the warehouse that has 2 garages. There might only be 1 garage in the auto shop. I don't remember for sure. Let's highlight our health here so that in case we get bitten, we'll know immediately. And then I've got a place in mind because I've already been fighting zombies in that area. It's likely to be underpopulated, and there's a vehicle there that will have heavy-duty parts, which is what we need. So I think it was just past the gym or the community center, whatever this place is. Down this road. Oh, but here we've got a bunch of folks. So let's say hi to the folks. Hey, I'm the human. What? Guys, I'm not in the car anymore. Come on. So, here's what I think is happening with these zombies. I think that they have zombies sort of imprint on a target. Like if you're playing multiplayer and a zombie is coming after you, I think that zombie tends to stick with you rather than constantly changing targets as different players get closer to them. And I think that sort of makes them feel a little bit more motivated, like, oh, they've fixated on you, and they're coming after you, and your friend has to do some work to distract them, which makes sense with humans, when you've got multiple humans. But I think that, I'm betting that they don't differentiate between humans and vehicles that way, so I think that when your vehicle has attracted their attention, and they're coming after the vehicle, they keep coming after the vehicle, and it's difficult for you, as a human, to get their attention away from the vehicle back on you. So sometimes you end up with these weird situations where you're walking right past a zombie and all it cares about is your car. And it's just walking up on your car. So let's see here. We've got another zombie up there we need to deal with. We've got a couple of vehicles over here that are both appropriate sources of parts for this vehicle. Basically, the vehicles in the game are divided up into 3 categories. You've got your standard vehicles, your performance vehicles, and your heavy-duty vehicles. And all the parts for each of those, within each of those categories, they're interchangeable, basically. And so even though a lot of those vehicles are very, very different from each other, everything from a pickup truck to a van to a delivery truck, very different shaped vehicles. If they're all heavy duty, you can take parts off one of them and install them on another one, which I appreciate. Because I mean, realistically, only the exact same make and model of vehicle could actually do that, right? But I appreciate the fact they give you a little bit of wiggle room in this game. As relentlessly realistic as they are about a lot of things, they do give you some room. Here, let me just try to attract some zombies out here, because I think they might be attracted to me eventually no matter what, but I'd rather have them be attracted to me on my terms instead of doing it at like wandering in my direction at a random time and then surprising me. So if I know these zombies are in here, I'm going to try to pull them out. There we go. So Candace Avon wants to know if you can make hole traps for zombies. Like basically digging a hole, putting a bell on top of the hole or something, and attracting zombies to them, making them fall in. They don't have. I don't think they have digging of any kind in the game. I guess if you had zombies on a rooftop, it might be possible for them to fall through a hole. I certainly had an experience where I fell through a hole recently, which was very bad. But I'm not aware of being able to dig down in this game, so I don't think that's a thing. I guess you wouldn't literally have to dig down. They could just fake a hole trap. But then what if the player walks over it? I mean, this is Zomboid. You should definitely kill the player any way you possibly can. So, all right. It feels like... Okay, this fire hydrant over here looks like a gigantic carrot because it's got a tree growing right behind it. Raneth Court says you could build, like, staircases up to a higher platform and then dump them over the stairs. That's true, actually. You could elevate them and then drop them in. Why do I want to do that now? That sounds ridiculous, but I also kind of want to do it. Okay, so let's have a look at our car. So I don't think... Most of the things that are wrong with that car, we currently do not have the skill to efficiently take care of. Because... The trunk lid, for instance, is in really bad shape. But if I were to uninstall or reinstall the trunk lid, that wants me to have mechanics level 3. I have mechanics level 0, which means I've got a 30-something% chance, 35% chance of success, and a 65% chance of damaging it. And so, what's the point of installing a new fresh trunk lid if I'm just going to hurt the trunk lid on the way in? So I usually don't try to do that until I'm at least at 50-50 or at 65-35 success versus damage. Now, I think that these two rolls are done differently. I think you can fail the success roll, but also fail the damage roll and not damage it. So it doesn't mean it's 35% success and 65% damage, one or the other. It's 35% success, and if you're not successful, a second roll, which is 65% damage. So it's not a guaranteed damage if you fail, but it's risky. So I don't want to do the trunk lid yet. The things that somebody with 0 mechanic skill can do, I believe include seats. You can do seats. Okay, seats are a 50% chance at this point. I think you can do tires. Tires want you to have mechanic skill of 1, but you can do them with a fairly good chance of success. And then lights, I think you don't need any skill at all. So lights you can do. I've already done the lights on this car, made them better. I mean, we could just keep swapping lights back and forth on cars to get a little bit of experience if we want to. It didn't get us a lot last time we did it. I think tires are probably a better choice. So I've got 2 tires that are in pretty good condition, 2 that are in fair to middling condition. Let's see if we've got any... Oh, wait, for tires, I don't just need a wrench. I also need a lug wrench and a jack. Different equipment for tires than for everything else. So, but the lug wrench and the jack end up being useful in a lot of different contexts because even though they're technically only for tires, if you want to change the brakes or the suspension on a vehicle, you need to take the tires off first. You actually end up needing to take tires off cars a lot when you're doing mechanics work. Oh, Candace Avon suggested if we did make that hole trap for zombies, we could also throw a Molotov in and kill them all. That's a good point. Okay, so it looks like we've got the rear tires on this car are in the 70s. That's decent. What do we got over here? There's this weird thing where sometimes you have to close the hood before you can open it again. Okay, so this one is actually the tire that's in the best shape. But you know what? Honestly, I don't need the tire that's in the best shape. I'm going to probably damage these tires anyway. So let's not get the best tire. Let's get these 2 fair to midland tires. So we'll just uninstall. And you know what? I'm not sure if I brought a tire pump with me. I'm pretty sure that tires maintain their pressure as you take them off and put them on again. But if they didn't, that would be a problem. So now I am now carrying the tire in my inventory. So I'm heavily overloaded. I've got a big problem, actually. If a zombie comes up on me now, I'll have a lot of trouble. And so if I'm a smart person, I'll drop these as soon as possible. Oh, I just failed and damaged the tire. And actually, I think this tire is now worse than the tire I've got on the car. I don't know. It might or might not be. All right, so now I'm carrying 2 tires. Let's quickly go over to this car. By quickly, I mean hobbling as slowly as possible. Let's go over and see which 2 tires did it need. The front tires are the ones that I'll be replacing. Okay, So let's just drop these tires by their destinations so that I don't have to be carrying them literally all the time. And then let's actually take the tires off, move them over to the other car, and then come back. It's a whole thing. So, okay. I'm going to uninstall this tire. I guess it doesn't hurt me to reinstall the other tire as soon as I get this one off, so I can do that. So that's off. Now we're going to install the other one that's sitting nearby, like that. So I picked it up. That was the first filling of the bar. And this bar actually basically just shows me whatever action I'm doing at the time. Look, I'm already tired. This stuff takes so long. Okay, success! Yay! All right, let's do it over here now. Let's grab the front right tire, uninstall it. And this is not going to be a big improvement. I'm mostly doing this for the practice, not because I think I'm making a big difference to the quality of this car. All right, and then let's install the new... Okay, so and the new tire is actually a performance tire. Am I not able to do that? Why can't I do that? Am I carrying too much? What's happening? I am carrying 2 tires right now already. So yeah, I'm carrying too much. So let's... I can't pick up the other tires. So let's go install these 2 worst tires on this car. So we'll stick these here. So install that regular tire that we had over here. How much skill do I need for this? Recommended skill for brakes is mechanic 6. So no, I'm not doing that anytime soon. Failure. That's okay. This is not my car. So we can fail at this as much as we want. It's fine. I'm not taking these tires back anytime soon. Failure again. Wow, we're damaging the tire and everything. Wow. Have you ever watched Rosencrantz and Guildenstern? Just flipping tails again and again and again. I don't remember if it was tails or heads in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. But installing the other tire. Oh, Zero Skill LPV points out that actually multiple failures in a row on a part that you don't care about is actually good, because you can only basically, so you get experience for succeeding in installing a thing on a car, but you're likely to only want to do it once. And actually, I think they've got a rule where successfully installing the same thing on the same car can only give you experience once. In a day, I think. So you can't just so you can take all the parts off your car and then put them all back on once in a day, but then you're done getting experience that way. You can't go then repeat that exact same action again and get credit for it again. You have to wait a day before it counts as practice. But failures always give you experience. They give you less experience than successes, but they give it to you consistently. And so, yeah, so Zero Skill is correct. That I shouldn't regret as long as I don't care about the quality of the part and I don't care about it taking damage. Then yeah, I should welcome failures, because it's more cracks at getting experience. You can see mechanic skill, it's up at 25 now. This is going to take a long time, but whatever, it's fine. See, part of me wants to just do this on my own time, right? Just be like, okay, I'm not going to make you all watch me do this again and again and again. That's silly. Instead, I should just do this on my own and then show you the results afterwards. The problem is, because I have to do this out here in public, this is very dangerous. And Shonda could get killed while I'm doing this. Which means, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to, come out here on my own time, not streaming, and do a thing that could get Shonda killed. All right, so we're just going to... We haven't touched this car yet, so we're just going to take the tires off the car, put the tires back on again. I'm not going to touch that 82% tire, though, because that one could be valuable. Like, when I'm actually better at this, and I don't have a risk of damaging the tires... I'd like to use that 82% tire at some point. So I'm just going to mess with the crappy tires, the tires that are already busted. I'm going to take them off, put them back on again, and leave it at that. Oh, see, that one failed. But as I'm failing or succeeding, I'm slowly creeping up the mechanic skill levels here. But yeah, so folks, right before this episode started, I think it might have been Awesome Twitch Dude was asking me about, whether I edit my YouTube videos. And I was saying that, I don't have time to edit my YouTube videos because, the only reason this hobby of streaming works, and specifically the YouTube half of my hobby where I post the videos later on YouTube, the only reason that works is because I run my streams like episodes of a show, like live episodes of a show, where you're watching the entire thing from front to back, uninterrupted, except for occasional times where something genuinely just interrupts me, and I have to stop the stream. So in those rare cases, I will edit bits out. But usually I don't edit it at all. And in fact, I perform the end screen live, which is really awkward for people who are watching the stream exclusively live, because they never see any of the YouTube end screen stuff that I'm popping on the screen or anything. It just looks like I've lost my mind. But I do that stuff because then I don't have to edit anything. Because editing takes for frickin' ever. Coalition was attesting to the fact he does do YouTube videos, straight up edited YouTube videos for his channel, and that takes a ton of time. It's not something you can just sort of like say, oh yeah, and then I'll edit the video, whatever, 5 minutes, I'll be done. It's like most of the time of making a video is the editing. So I wouldn't have time to do that. That would become my hobby. I would have a hobby as a video editor. And that doesn't work as a hobby for me. I like the fact that my hobby is mostly playing video games and talking to awesome people. And so, that's a fun hobby. I'd like to keep it that way. So that's why I don't edit these videos, which means, people who make, Project Zomboid videos as their primary thing they do on their YouTube channel, they do a lot of editing and a lot of like speeding up time and stuff like that, because so much of what you do in Project Zomboid is these repetitive tasks to either do useful things like like farming and stuff like that. It's not the most interesting thing in the world. Fishing, not the most interesting thing in the world to engage in. They all feel like cool, interesting, evocative parts of living the zombie apocalypse. And a lot of what the emotional experience you're going after in Project Zomboid is the emotional experience of trying to live long term in the zombie apocalypse. And so it's great as part of the game. As part of an entertaining video, it's not that great. It's, watching somebody else take the lights on and off a car just because it's the part of the car they haven't touched yet. That's not awesome, And so a lot of people who are, Zomboid YouTubers, they'll speed up this stuff. They'll record it, and then they'll speed up, and you'll watch it at a faster speed than the game is even playable, and or they'll just cut ahead and say, and then I did this, and then they cut ahead to after it's done, which is just so much more entertaining to watch. So sorry that you're stuck watching me do this at normal speed, but unfortunately, yeah, editing this to make it more interesting is just out of my reach. Okay, yeah, so Coalition is sort of going over his schedule that he usually, actually I'm gonna swap these tires around for no reason whatsoever. His schedule is, he basically, he writes the scripts or videos on Monday. Thursday, he does the voice recording. Wednesday is the gameplay recording. Thursday is the voice recording. And then the rest of the week is editing. And yeah, so that tracks, that amount of time you have to spend editing is, my memories of film school were the same thing. It's like, we would spend a couple of hours shooting all of the footage for a short student film, but then hours and hours editing it afterwards to make it happen. Like, the job of an editor is enormous. Now, when it comes to like larger scale productions where just getting the shots you're talking about takes a lot of preparation and a lot of rehearsal and a lot of, work coordination from tons of different disciplines. Like, if that's what you're doing, then yeah, shooting can take longer than editing, because editing doesn't have the same kinds of risks. You're sitting in a bay trying out different stuff. But when sourcing the footage is not the hard part, then yeah, editing is the bulk of your time. And in film school, they used to talk to us about the fact that, they said that a movie is made, I think it was 4 times. Once when it's written, once when it's shot, once when it's edited, and once when it's watched. And each of those has an interesting story to tell for, like, the challenges of movie making and how different a movie can be. Like, you write a movie and, you can have a lot of great ideas, really cool ways for the story to work. But then when you get, onto the actual set, there's things that are, things that you discover on the set, either problems with the original plan or just opportunities you discover on the set that sort of change the way it goes, the way that an actor performs something, or an improvisation, or whatever, like, or just an impulse you have, like, oh, I didn't realize the sun was going to look like this. We're actually going to do it from this angle, and this character's going to walk over this direction, whatever, because it looks so much cooler this way. Or we found a cool location that the screenwriter never thought of, but it's so much better if this scene happens here instead of there. Like that kind of thing. Like, you get all these opportunities to sort of vary the story. You just come up with new writing ideas in context you didn't come up with before you started shooting, and you change the story. And that happens all the time while you're shooting the movie. And then you get into the editing room, and then sometimes you discover for the first time that certain shots work better than other shots, or certain scenes, just when we edit the footage together the way we shot it, it doesn't actually come together. And we need to change the way it works. And so you end up making a bunch of changes during that phase. And then my favorite part, the part where they're really trying to blow your mind in those film schools, is the fact that the movie's made again when it's watched. Because each audience member, the movie isn't really happening on the screen; it's happening inside their minds. You're giving them the visuals and the audio to help them manufacture the story in their minds, but really the thing is happening in their brains, and their own assumptions, their own backgrounds, their own prejudices, whatever. All of that comes into play as they're watching the movie, and different people will effectively see different movies. I mean, like, when two people, one person loves a movie, the other person hates a movie, it's like they saw different movies because they saw it through different brains, and really the movie was being projected onto their brains, and the surface of their brain determines the shape of the movie that lands there. Okay, so it is late enough. We definitely need to get home if we want to be at all safe. So let's start moving here. So we got our mechanics skill up to 50. So if we can get up to 75, that gives us two benefits. One benefit is we're a little closer to mechanics 2. We get because 5 experience will get us to mechanics 1, which means we're halfway to mechanics 2, which is great. But also that will, I think, eliminate the risk to tires. So we'll be able to safely add and remove tires. And it'll also reduce the risk of other things. And so it'll open up options like, for instance, we can much more safely swap the seats of the car out for other seats without having a 50% chance of damaging the seat. So let's head home, take a nice break, and then tomorrow morning, let's go back and do it all over again. This is going to be great. So, yeah, Shonda did not get injured today so far, unless she's about to trip and, fall over her fence. I think that would feel a little bit cheap if I deliberately... there's definitely ways that I could deliberately hurt Shonda if I wanted to, but I think that wouldn't be fair. So, yeah, I don't need anything from the back there. I guess I should shove this jack where the sun don't shine, just to reduce the load on my back. Let's head in here, and then... How is my weight doing? My weight is still headed upwards, which means oh wait, no, I am hungry. Okay, so let's eat one more dose of this rodent stew. And then I think I got so much snack food last time. I feel like maybe I should just live on snack food tomorrow. Pretty soon I'm going to get Shonda to the point where she's overweight instead of underweight. That's going to be fun. Let's see, did I bring anything here I need to put away? Oh, I've got some scrap electronics. Or as I like to call them, crap electronics. Put those over here. I've got some painkillers. I think I filled up a lot of space in my pill bag, wherever that is. Which one is my pill bag? This is it. Do I have room? I don't have room for painkillers. Let's stick the vitamins and the sleeping tablets. Wait, did I just... No, I didn't mean to take them. Let's just stick them somewhere else. Yeah, let's stick them in the bandage container for no good reason. Let's stick everything in the bandage container. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll come back and reorganize later. It doesn't matter. We got our bait container over here. We're going to stick these maggots in case we ever go fishing. And then let's take our denim strips upstairs to add them to the stash. And add our thread to the stash. Actually, thread is more fun if you hold on to it for longer. So you can combine it all. So I'm actually going to hold on to the thread. And then let's... Where am I sticking the denim strips? There they go. Denim strips go there. Denim strips go there. Hold on to everything else. And then we'll go to bed. So the coalition is making suggestions for ways I could hurt myself. But he's making very extreme ones that involve killing Shonda outright. That's not cool. Let's see here. Awesome Twitch Dude wants to know what I think the best movie of all time is, and why is it Terminator 2? So Terminator 2 is up there. I'd say, a lot of James Cameron's movies are up there. The original Terminator was also good. It's where the original idea was. So I don't know. I almost want to give credit to Terminator 1 more than Terminator 2, though they're both good. And for a long time, I would say that my favorite movie was Children of Men. Because it's a really dark, bleak sort of movie, but I really liked it partly because it's one of those things, and I've talked about this before, like I love media that really tries to ride the edge of how much despair they can expose you to and still have you feel hope at the end. And that's, I think, Children of Men is one of the best examples of someone doing that, of successfully just wallowing in as deeply in despair as they possibly can for as long as they possibly can, and then at the very end making you feel hope anyway. It's so hard to do, and they pulled it off so well that I hope that they're very proud of themselves. Anyway, I think I'm going to make some stew later. What I actually want to make right now, I want to have pancakes. I've been eating stew all the freaking time. It's time for pancakes. Don't you all think it's time for pancakes? Time for pancakes. So let's okay, so to make pancake mix, or make pancakes, I need to have pancake mix. I need to have a fork. So actually let's grab, where did I put the forks? Where are the forks? Forks. Fork. Okay, you need a fork or a spoon or a spatula, something you can stir with. So actually I'm going to stick the fork in with the pancake mix, so that's easier to do. You also need a little bit of water, but I've got that in my water bottle. So we're going to make a pancake. And I just needed the bowl in my inventory. I didn't actually need to use the bowl for anything. Let's hold on to the bowl, though, because I'd use it for something else. Let's put the pancake, not the mix, just the... Wait. Where'd the I thought I made a pancake. Did I not make a pancake? Did I start walking before I finished making the pancake? There we go. Okay, I think I just started walking before I finished making the pancake. I just walked off with the mix and didn't do anything with it. So there's the mix, back again. And there's the fork, also back again. But I've got some uncooked pancakes now, so we're just going to stick those straight in the oven because that's how pancakes work. Turn it on. Cook our pancake. Come on, pancake. Cook. All right, there we go. Pancakes don't burn, which is not true in my experience, but whatever. And then you can put crap on a pancake. So what are we going to put on our pancake? So we can put marmalade on our pancake. Let's do that. Put some marmalade on there. We could put fruit jam on our pancake. Let's put that on there. And we can put some maple syrup on the pancake. We'll do that. That doesn't add any food value. And I think you can only put 3 things on a pancake. Oh, wait, no. I think you can put 3 substantial things on a pancake. So that maple syrup didn't count. So let's grab something else. Let's grab any fruit I think you can put on a pancake. So we got these peaches here. Let's just open some canned peaches. Put them in our pancake. Pancakes. Open canned peaches. And that adds a ton of food value to these pancakes. And now we just eat them. Just eat them whenever we want. They're 45, so let's... I think that's probably enough food for the day, but let's, just in case, let's bring something else with us too. Let's bring some Majeska. I don't know what Majeska is, but we're bringing it. And we're bringing our pancakes with us out into the field, leaving the bowl behind. And now we're going to go out and do more mechanic nonsense. We're going to try to at least get to Mechanics 1 and swap out the seat in this car today. That's our goal for today, for this episode. So we're going to get to Mechanics 1, we're going to swap out the seat, eventually we get to Mechanics 2, and that's when the hot wiring of cars begins. So I'm going to get my nightstick out because I don't know what zombies might have spawned or moved into the area since the last time we were there. I'm actually, this is getting to be kind of a long episode. Maybe I should have broken it, but like, I don't know, 2 episodes in a row about mechanic skill. This is not the direction I need to go. Oh, well, there's 2 zombies here. I'll fight them. I took a wrong turn, like I do. Like, today I was actually having a meeting with my boss while I was driving my daughter to school. And because I was distracted. And I do this all the time whether I'm distracted or not. It's not my boss's fault. But, you know, for having a meeting with me. But I totally took a wrong turn and made my daughter late for school while I was talking to my boss, and I had to sort of like talk through the problem to my boss as I was making my daughter late for school. That was a lot of fun. But I just do that all the time. I just get like highway hypnosis, or I get distracted, I start thinking about something else, and I just take wrong turns. That's just how I drive. And so now, like, when I'm trying to go somewhere, I like plan wrong turn time into my driving time. I'm just like, okay, well, obviously I'm going to take a wrong turn at some point, and so I should put an extra 5 minutes of recovery time into my schedule. All right, so this idiot, I feel like this guy wasn't here before. Hello, Mr. Zombie. And again, the main purpose of fighting these zombies is just so they don't wander in while I'm doing my mechanic stuff. Oh yeah, so Ornithal says that's why he always uses like voice navigation everywhere he goes. Just turns on the GPS. See, look at this. Look at these idiots. Just turns on the GPS wherever he goes. It just follows the voice navigation. So my problem is I'll misinterpret the voice navigation. It'll be like, turn left here, and I will misinterpret, and I'll either, it'll be like a twisty intersection where which way is left and which way is straight isn't actually very clear, or it'll be, that's a fancy dress. That's nice. Oh, it's damaged. Whatever. Sometimes I like to pick up formal wear for my Zomboid characters, and then I'll wear it for like one evening at home, and then I got to go out again. I don't want to go out in it, so it'll be a giant waste of my time, but and my inventory space. But whatever, it's fun. Sometimes you just want to pretend like you're living the high life when you're in the zombie apocalypse. Just want to pretend things are normal a little bit. Yeah, Orithal says, that he has ADHD, and that's why, he needs to basically have a voice to keep him on track, or he'll just totally get lost. I totally understand that. I think I've probably got a similar thing going on in my head. I'm not, like, diagnosed with anything, but I probably have something like that going on. Something in that rough zone, anyway. All right, so usually it's just not... When there's so many jeans around for me to strip, it's just not even worth it to try to clean the dirty denim strips. I just throw them away. I'm going to get more denim eventually anyway. Oh, hey, more zombies over there. I didn't even see those guys. Okay, yeah, so we're definitely going to have to take a turn about the room here and see where the zombies have spawned since the last time I was here. I'm kind of surprised at how many in just one day either spawned or wandered into this area. And that's the thing, I'm not sure if it's spawning or wandering. I don't know which phenomenon we're seeing here. Run. All right. Oop. Okay, so that one was close enough. I wanted to run rather than take another swipe at it. There we go. Was that a... Okay, we have some jeans here. That's good. Get some more denim out of that. And potentially some more threads out of these guys. We'll drop the rip sheets again. And then there was another... I thought... Oh, yeah, they got a leather jacket. It's a leather jacket in bad shape, but that's fine. I've got like 7 leather jackets in good condition. I just need leather strips. So let's just turn that into leather strips. Drop off some of them. Let's also dismantle this watch, because why not? Well, not just because why not? Because that's a useful skill, and also we need it for repairing our generators, so that's cool. All right, and it looks like we did get some... We are getting some threads out of this, so that's good. Let's definitely rip... this guy's got big, gaudy sportswear. Let's get rid of that. Destroy all of that. All right, I'm sitting here spending time on this. The purpose of this episode is to raise my mechanic skills, so let's do it. Let's do a quick little run around to make sure there's no more... Oh, look at this! Look at this! How many zombies showed up here that were not here yesterday? And again, I'm not certain if it's just like every night they know where the zombies are and they have some zombies move, or if they're literally spawning new zombies in this area. This many new zombies in this area. And for me, it's the thing that surprises me is the number of zombies. Like, I'm on builder difficulty. I was imagining the numbers would be lower than this. New nightstick. That's valuable. Don't really need the rest of this right now. There will always be more cops. So, yeah. I don't know why 28 of you are watching me do this. Because I'm just going to take the same parts off these cars again. But I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Does anyone have a topic they want to discuss while I'm doing this stupid nonsense? Oh, La Coalición wants to make some bets. So one thing I could do... So one thing that's weird is I'm surprised that it's almost without fail, every vehicle in the game has seats that are in bad condition. And I'm not sure... I feel like... Are they saying something? Like... Now let's actually watch and see. So I uninstalled and reinstalled these lights yesterday. Let's make sure this is actually giving me experience. So 52.5. Let's reinstall this. 53.25. Yes, so this is giving me experience. So Melitor says, I believe it's a combo of new spawns and redistribution. I mean, that would certainly make sense. I know that they definitely do respawn some zombies. They don't want you to run out unless you deliberately turn off respawning. Orthos says that you all are just addicted to the stream. So this is a problem I've been having. I feel like I might be a little bit addicted to Project Zomboid. Because, like I said, I've got some of these saves where I've got a self-sustaining base and character. And I'm like, I'm just living in the world now. I'm not even doing anything new or dangerous, except for, everything in Zomboid to some degree or not is dangerous. I am getting characters killed still sometimes when I'm doing this. But by and large, I'm not doing anything particularly adventurous and dangerous. I'm just doing normal level, just subsistence level danger, I guess. But I keep playing, and I just keep wanting to live in this world, and I'm doing it at the expense of, I'm not playing other games that I could be playing right now. I haven't tried, what's it called? A Hi-Fi Rush or something? That's supposed to be really good. I bet I'll like it. I'm not playing it because I'm playing Project Zomboid. This game is very addictive, and so I can imagine watching it also being addictive. Okay, so Zero Skill says, I think the default is 10% respawn every 3 days in cells that have not been revisited. Mostly the zombies you're seeing are probably from migration or redistribution. Okay, so because I'm coming back to the same site every day, that site is probably not getting respawned. And that makes sense because I've noticed that, I'll clear out the space that becomes my base, and the base will not get reinfested by zombies, except extremely rarely. And usually when I've been gone for a while, like if I spend 2 or 3 days in another place and then come home, then I might run into some zombies there. But otherwise, I don't run into any zombies there. So that does make sense that, if I keep coming back to the same place, it shouldn't respawn. And so yeah, so that theory sounds compelling to me. And so the thing that's interesting is, I'm assuming that they don't actually model the individual zombies in all of this town. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. I don't know how expensive the zombie AI is. And maybe, when the player's not around and they don't have to fight anybody, maybe the AI is just really, really cheap because they know there's nothing to stimulate them or make them have to switch into combat mode, or they don't have to fight anything when there's no player around. So maybe their AI is really simple and they actually are tracking literally every zombie in town while I'm here. But if they're not, then redistributing zombies on the opposite end of town from me, it seems like they would have to do it in some kind of abstract way. Like, they're aware there's a certain number of zombies in this neighborhood, and they just like when, you know, they despawn them when I go away, and they just remember the number, and then when I come back, they're redistributed because they just spawned them in place. They didn't remember where they were respawned before, and they just respawn them in new places that seem reasonable. I could see that being how it works, and that would definitely account for redistribution. But if they're more specific about it, like if they're really narrowly keeping track of exactly where zombies are, then they would have to be modeling, like basically saying, yes, this specific zombie wanders over here, this specific horde wanders over there. That's a lot of work for the machine to be doing in the background, all over the place, while you're in one particular spot, not paying any attention to it. So that's a lot. So yeah, I would be really curious if Andy Hodgetts watches this video later. I'm very curious what you do. Not that it would be easy to explain or whatever, but I am fascinated by the question of what it is you do. All right, so that's one car's worth of swapping around cheap bits. And look, we are almost at 75. And once we're at 75, we could more safely, not completely safely, but more safely swap some seats out. For instance, this driver's seat, currently, a 50% chance of busting it up. But if that chance gets down to 30% only on failure, then I'll feel a little bit better about it. So let's take this tire off. Again, not touching that rear right tire until we've actually got our skill up to the point where it's safe. Because that 82% is pretty good. Okay, successfully took it off. Let's put it back on again. Okay, so we got a poll from La Coalición asking, what should Shonda's end goal be? Self-sufficiency is one. Looting the military base is another. That's definitely one that I had not thought of. Explore all towns. That would be very, very ambitious. Build an outpost at Louisville or death. So, yeah, the thing that I have been driving towards is self-sufficiency. Just because I really like the idea of freezing this save in Carbonite with Shonda still alive and having her be a success story, rather than playing this into the ground until she eventually dies. And so, because eventually, I mean, you know, they say it at the beginning of the game. Every time you start it up, this is the story of your death. You're going to die. There we go. We got it. Goal completed. Oh, I'm so hungry right now. I have not been eating my pancakes at all. I made those delicious pancakes, those delicious peach pancakes, and I have not been eating them. So let's, hold on. Let's eat some pancakes. Let's eat half the pancakes, because I think I might need that much food. Oh man, I was just so engaged with how interesting it is to watch myself do mechanics stuff. So now, the next phase of mechanics, it fills twice as slowly. And so it'll take some effort. But the thing is, you get more experience for doing more complicated operations on the vehicle. So we just need to start doing fancier things if we want to sort of keep our skill gains going up at the same rate. Which means, let's grab a seat. Seats are harder than tires. So we're going to grab this seat. We're going to uninstall it. Now, again, not 100% chance of success. But better than it was before. I'm feeling better about it. Failure, of course. Great. So anyway, I like the idea of self-sufficiency rather than running Shonda into the ground. Just because I like the idea of Shonda's series having what feels like a happy ending, or as happy an ending as you can get in Project Zomboid. There we go. We've got a driver's seat. Let's walk this over to the other car. And then starting something new, like starting new, like with a fresh character, doing something different in a scenario where we haven't solved as many problems. We're trying to resolve them from scratch. Oh, right. It was the right seat that needed to be emptied, and that needed to be swapped, and I kept a shotgun in there. So we need to take that shotgun out, stick it in my bag. Okay, now we can swap that seat out. So let's do that again. So let's uninstall the front right seat. Oh, let's try it again. Oh, Malator is suggesting another option, aside from, like, looting the military base, could be clearing and looting Rosewood Prison, which that's one that, yeah, I've never been to either of these places. Why am I failing so much? It's like a 35% chance of failure. Oh, come on. Come on! What is this? I am seriously Guildenstern right now. This is crazy. Okay, finally, we got it. Let's go stand near where I dropped the other seat. And let's install the one that has more than 9%. See how much experience we're getting from this. So we're at 9 right now. And 10.5. So, not growing real fast, but whatever. Let's run this down. We still got the other garbage seat in our inventory, but that's fine. We got a garbage car to stick it in. So let's do that. So let's install that seat. Let's hope we don't just break the seat altogether. I like leaving cars intact. But yeah, so I've never been to Rosewood Prison because I don't know where it is. I've never been to the military base because I don't know where it is. And okay, so we have accomplished this goal. So we're going to go home because it's also getting late. We're getting tired, whatever. We should get out of here. And we should end this episode because it's been super long and all you've been doing is watching me do mechanic-y stuff. We need to do something else, something more interesting, something more dangerous to Shonda, where all of this talk about how we should end the series and how we should end it with her alive will be moot because I get her killed doing something stupid later. That's what we should do. Doesn't that sound great? Let's do that. So, anyway, let's eat some. Our water bottles are all empty, so that's something we should do something about. Let's eat a little bit of this Mojeska. I don't know what Majeska is, but we're eating it. Stuffing it in our face. Maybe it's made of rats. I don't know. We've eaten rats before. That's not a problem. I can do rats. Malator suggests that it might be that there's like a secret negative effect on the odds of success with mechanics based on your moodles. I wouldn't be surprised. Though part of me suspects, wouldn't they show that on the wouldn't they show the final percentage? Or maybe they wouldn't. Maybe it's just the baseline percentage and there are other things that affect it. Oh, I don't know. It could be a lot of things. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff here. Cool. Actually, one thing I should do is, now that I've swapped that seat out, let's put the shotgun back. I like to have the shotgun for close encounters. Oh, Orthaus is suggesting, what if I went to the video store to see if the video store has Car Zone? It occurs to me that I'm not sure. I might have gotten Car Zone videos without remembering to watch them. That's entirely possible. Let's drop off our stuff and then we'll check. So crap electronics go here. The jack and the lug wrench. I'd like to keep those in the back of the car. So I'm going to take a break from mechanic stuff so we can put this stuff back in the car. All of this stuff. Oh, we've already got a wrench back there. What? I've got 2 wrenches? What's going on? Okay, this goes back in the car. I'll put the other wrench inside the house. Yeah, and then we'll put away all of our textiles. And then, yeah, let's check and see. Maybe we've got some videos we can watch. That'd be cool, right? That doesn't fit because I put the garden saw and the hammer in there. Oh, the hammer could go in there. Let's put these in here. Garden saw and hammer. Go in there. And the wrench goes in the wrench box. All this other stuff goes upstairs. Not up here. That's not where it goes. It goes in here. So, denim strips, leather strips, they all go in the cabinet. The thread. We get to merge the thread. I love merging the thread. Consolidate thread. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that number go down. Oh, it's getting so consolidated right now. Oh, that's it? That's it? No, I'm not satisfied. Oh, there we go. It wasn't finished yet. Let's consolidate it more. Consolidate it more. Oh, look how consolidated that is. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, our water bottles are empty. Let's fill them from our bathtub, which still's got a bunch of water in it. Oh, interesting. So Orthout says that Majeska is a marshmallow dipped in caramel, and apparently that's a thing that was created in Louisville, Kentucky. So it's a specifically Louisville treat. That's it. I assumed it was going to be something European. I assumed it was going to be something that like the Europeans who made this game were aware of, that I just didn't know what it was. But no, it's actually it's a Kentucky thing. That is fascinating. Oh, I've got this new nightstick that I do not need to carry with me all the time. Let's just stick it in the hammer box, because whatever, apparently I've decided that that's where those go. I feel like I don't necessarily need to eat the rest of my pancakes right now, so let's just head up towards bed. Let's wrap up this episode, and then we'll see. I think, yeah, it's after 6. I think this has to be my last episode for the day. So I'm going to be back on Friday to play some more of this, so I can build up some videos for YouTube. But yeah, so I think we're gonna need to wrap this up. But thank you all for hanging out with me. This is a lot of fun. I mean, I had fun going and doing the same operations on the same 2 cars again and again, hoping I wouldn't be waylaid by zombies, and I hope that you ended up kind of enjoying it too. We're getting close up. Like I think we can do just a little bit more of this and get her up to mechanics 2, and then we can start hot wiring cars, and that's going to be fun. We can wander around with a gas can, grabbing any car in the town that we want, probably getting attacked by zombies on the way. That'll be cool. But maybe we'll do something else in the meantime. Maybe before we do another mechanics episode, we should do something like, you know what, I've been thinking, if she ever wants to learn fishing and be able to get sort of protein in her diet that way, we should find a lake. I don't know where there's a lake near March Ridge, so maybe we should drive around in the countryside and just find something. Yes, Coalition, I got no injuries, so your bet is going to end that way. And the episode is going to end this way, with a subscribe button for YouTube people, and links to other videos. And the next time I get with Shonda, it's going to go there. So, here you go.